Wanna try? Say it again. From 5 minutes to 10 minutes, whatever, something like that. You good? Okay. You guys wanna try? Hey, you wanna try?
I'm Italian. Sorry for my English,
It's okay. How old are you?
13.
13. Can you come so that you're in view? Nice.
Hello,
What's your name?
Nicola.
Nicola. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you, Nicola.
Nice to meet you.
So, Nicola, how do you feel about animals?
Animals depends. I love animals.
You love animals?
Dog, cats. I love them.
Do you have a pet at home?
No.
No? Would you like a pet?
Yes. of
What would
course,
you
of
like, a
course.
dog or a cat?
A dog.
A dog, a dog. What is it about dogs that you like so much?
They are. I don't know what to say in English. In Italian, we say fedele.
Oh, they are like loyal.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay. Um, okay, how do you feel about abusing dogs?
They're not good.
No.
The people they're doing this.
Yeah.
They don't must have an animals. If you want an animal, the dog, you don't pick them for abusing.
Okay. How do you feel like in general about animal abuse? Do you think it's okay to abuse animals?
No,
No.
no, no, no.
No. Okay. Okay. Why is it bad to abuse animals?
Because animals have a soul, a life. They are just like us.
Yeah, because they want to live, right? Just
Yes,
like us,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay. Is there any reason that you could think to say that abusing animals is okay?
No, no, no.
Okay. How would you define abusing animals?
Una persona, a stupid person.
No, like how would you do? Oh, that's the person that abuses animals. Okay. But how would you define abuse itself? Like how would you call it? What would you say constitutes abuse?
Nico, andiamo, dai. No. Um,
I would say like physical or emotional harm.
Dai, andiamo.
Is that a good enough?
Mamma.
Dai, non si chiama neanche chiedere, dai. Saluta.
It's not. I don't know what to say. I'm not.
It's like
very
causing harm,
good.
causing harm to them,
Yeah.
right?
No,
like-
Adesso andiamo, dai.
perché?
per
Oh, ma
favore.
lasciami in pace.
Dai.
I'm not.
Nico, non è normale sta cosa,
I'm
dai,
not-
andiamo, su.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was gonna ask you some. That's a new one. Hi, Martin. Hello, Mark. It's a new one. That hasn't happened before. You guys want to try a social experiment? I ask you some questions, get you to think. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? Hi, Robbie Rosie. Yeah, says Martin. Nice. Oh, that conversation with that kid would have been good. It's a pity. I guess his mom thought it was weird that I was asking him about abuse and what does abuse mean. But I think you have to establish that before you have the conversation, right? Yeah, his mom. But I like his attitude, like, leave me alone. You guys want to try it? I just ask you some questions, get you to think. Okay. JP, nobody's asking you to be here. Want to try a social experiment? Hey, Mike. Nice to see you here. I hope, yeah, same story as always. I hope we get people. There's not a lot of people here, apparently. I don't know why, except here. Yeah, JP, it's okay. There's people at some point in history who had to teach other people and who had to help them gather their thoughts. That's really what I'm doing. There's nothing more. I have all the signs with me, by the way, everybody. So, you want to try? Come on, nice. What's your name?
Maya.
Maya. Nice to meet you, Maya. I'm Chip. Can you come closer so that
Yeah,
you're in
of
view?
course.
Nice. You're live, by the way, on
Okay.
YouTube. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, okay. So, Maya, how do you feel about oppression?
Mm,
If you
but-
don't know something what it is, you can ask. It's fine.
so maybe you can just
Yeah, that's okay.
explain
So,
something.
so oppression means like cruel or unjust treatment or behavior, like towards somebody. Like how white people did to black people in U.S., where they enslaved them.
Okay, so like about the tolerance, right?
Yeah. Like, how do you feel about oppression in general? Do you think it's okay? Are you for
No.
it, against it?
I mean, I'm into being tolerant to each other, so
Okay.
I think it's not really good if you judge people about the color or something.
Okay, I like that. So you're saying we shouldn't judge somebody, or we shouldn't be discriminating on somebody based on physical traits that they were born with, right?
Yes.
Okay. Keep that in mind. I like that. Okay. Do you think that the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless?
So
Like, if somebody has power, do you think that they should have the right to oppress somebody else, like to enslave them, to use them for
but
their
like
own benefit?
used to a positive thing or to negative thing?
Does it matter?
I don't know, maybe.
Like, if I have power over somebody and I can use them for my own benefit, I don't really know if it benefits them also. It may or it may not. But the question is, should I have the right to oppress them just because to abuse my power basically over them just because I have power over them?
So I think not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I think not really because like it's not only about you but about like somebody else. So
Okay, because there's a victim basically. Yeah. So what if it benefits the person who's doing the oppression?
doing the oppression.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like me. Like, if I was to, like, in the scenario where I'm oppressing somebody, if I was to benefit from it, would that make it right?
so I think there's like maybe a benefit like about thinking like from the person who is talking some I don't know how to explain that.
That's
so,
fine. That's fine. You're doing great, by the way.
so I think like about could you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah. Say it again.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah. So, like, do you think that if the person that's doing the oppression, like the person who has the power, benefits from abusing their power over somebody who doesn't have power, do you think it's justified? Do you think is that a good enough reason to oppress somebody?
No, I'm not sure.
No. Okay. What if the other person doesn't realize that they're being oppressed?
So it's like
Maybe they're intellectually challenged. They can't realize that.
yeah,
they're
I know.
oppressed.
So I think it's still not really good to the second like
Okay.
person who don't get that he or she is a person.
I like that. Okay. And what if this person in power has been doing it for so long that it would be difficult for them to stop?
Maybe this person should go to the doctor or somebody.
Okay. So do you think that if you were to find out that you are oppressing somebody, would you want to stop? Would you want to be told
I
about
think
it?
I will like try to stop it.
Okay. Okay. So then, all of this, keep in mind when I ask you this question. How do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses for us?
So I love animals, so
Yeah.
I'm really like into supporting them and supporting by money, by buying something important. So I think when somebody is not really good for the animals, I'm not really like positive to this person.
Do you consume any animal products?
I'm trying to not consuming animal products.
Like, let's put things into some perspective. For example, do you know anything about milk or the dairy industry?
Yeah,
What do you know about
like
it?
about the consuming the milk, for example, from cow, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm vegan, so
Ah, you're vegan.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
So-
also vegan. I'm trying
so
to get
I'm not
people to be
using the-
vegan
yeah.
here. Okay. That's nice to see that you're vegan. Why
Yeah.
are you vegan then?
Because I really like the taste of everything. It's vegan, and I feel really more healthier than when I was like eating some things from the animals.
So allow me to correct you here, by the way, just being a bit pedantic over here. It sounds to me like you're plant-based, not vegan, because veganism is like a moral philosophy against the exploitation of animals, right?
Okay.
So it's strictly about the animals, veganism. It doesn't mean you can eat unhealthy and still be vegan.
Yeah, of
You can
course.
eat food that tastes horrible and still be vegan, right? Veganism just means it's not just about food also. It's leather, clothing, makeup, everything, right? It's about not using animals at all because
Yeah,
they
about the
themselves.
makeup, I'm still thinking about not
Yeah.
using animal. How to say like
Products?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Or tested on animals. Yeah.
So I'm trying to like not buying something from animal testing.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, it's not always easy with these products
Yeah.
because you have to do. I also myself had to do some research within this area. Okay. Well then, I don't know. I just wanted to turn you vegan, but it sounds like you're plant-based. What would get you to be vegan? To say I care about the animals enough that it's for the animals.
Like why I would like to be vegan? Or
Yeah. Would you like to be
so
vegan? Because as I said, I'm
maybe
a
I
bit
should.
pedantic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So maybe I should like learn more about the being vegan. So probably I will do this after this interview.
Yeah.
But why? Because as I told you, I really like animals, so that's why I'm trying to support all animals. Not like, for example, I have dog, and it's not about testing something on my dog, but I'm still thinking about all of animals. So
Okay.
yeah.
I love that. Okay, let me give you a card because, I mean, if you're vegan, I don't know. Well, you're not vegan, you're plant-based, but like, you're almost.
I know.
Yeah.
I will think about the.
Yeah. So you have I think what's something cool that you can watch. It's not gruesome content. Is if you scan this code or go on this website, they'll ask you for a code and type here. If you scan this, they won't ask you for any code.
Okay.
There's a thing called the most important speech you'll ever hear. I don't know. It appears in certain languages only. I know for a fact that it appears in English. So if this website comes in a different language, you might not see it when you put in this code or when you scan this. So set it to English. It teaches you about veganism, just like we
Yeah, okay.
discussed now, right? Mostly, yeah. So then maybe you'll be like, okay, well, I want to be vegan
Yeah,
then or
of
something,
course.
right? And maybe you want to do activism also. You have several resources also to do activism.
Okay.
And this is my social media if you
Okay.
if you have more questions or something, or if you want to see
course.
yourself. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for being plant-based. That's good enough. That's very good. And
Yeah,
continue
so
on it.
thank you.
Okay.
Of
Yeah. Have a
course.
good one. Yeah. It didn't used to happen so often, huh? That we would meet vegans on the street or plant-based people on the street. Now it happens more and more, huh? Something's changing, guys. Yeah, that is our ex-museum, says Robbie. Yeah, in the back. You know, when I talk to somebody, it's other people are stopping by and looking and interested and want to talk too. But then when I stop talking, I hold up the sign, and it always takes time for somebody to come and talk to me, you know? So it's kind of, I think if I had another person with me, I'd rather if they see somebody waiting or interested in what I'm doing, than to just say, oh, you can wait if you want, I'll talk to you afterwards. Or maybe I should do that also if I see them interested. But I don't want to distract the current conversation. So, hey, you want to try a social experiment? Want to do it? I'll ask you some questions. Oh, nice, love it.
I'm Italian.
Italian.
And,
That's okay.
I understand all. What do you do when you talk?
Yeah.
I don't understand all.
So your English is not great. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah. I am beginner.
That's okay. That's okay.
1 second. I put off my AirPods.
Oh yeah, you put the headphones.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel about animals?
Animals?
Yeah. Do you like them? Are you
I like. Yeah.
You like them? Well, is there an animal in particular that you like more?
Cat.
You like cats?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a pet cat at home?
Yeah, two cats.
Two cats. Okay. Okay.
One is Bruce, is a red cat, and Nerina is a black cat.
What specifically do you like about them?
I think it's a little pretty, and I don't know. I
Do you like
Uh,
their personality, for example?
yeah.
Like, cause I know cats, right? Cats definitely you can tell that they have a personality, right? They're like,
Yeah,
they,
I
they
know,
have
I
a, they have a
know.
will of their own and everything. It's pretty clear.
Personality
Yeah.
is like I don't know. They they are so mysterious, and I love that.
Okay. How would you feel? How do you feel about abusing animals?
Views?
Abusing them, yeah, like physically or emotionally harming them.
I don't know. The the head.
Like hurting them, somebody just hitting them or killing them or.
But can I translate?
Yeah,
that?
you can translate.
because-
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about abusing animals?
Chiclete.
That's a.
Okay.
How do you feel about abusing animals?
Oh.
A terrible thing. Okay. 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 Um, okay. And abuse, by abuse, I mean just like physical, like somebody beating them,
Yeah.
or emotional, like somebody just keeping them, not feeding them, or causing psychological stress. You see
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Would you say you're against it? Are you up or against abuse? For or against it?
Against.
Against. Okay, love it. How do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses for us? The cows, the pigs, the chickens.
I don't know. When the animal stay, they feel so bad. I feel bad. I'm feeling bad.
Ah, you feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what veganism is? Do you know what a vegan is?
I'm not vegan, but mm
When an animal is sick, I can feel it. I see what you mean. Yeah. So um, it's hard to have this conversation with you because you don't understand everything I'm saying, right?
yeah.
I get what you mean. So I'll give you a card, okay? Because it's hard. Like behind any animal product that you buy, like if you buy chicken, if you buy
Yeah.
eggs, if you buy milk, if you buy cheese, all of this, animals are abused behind it, right? They are harmed. Somebody cuts their throat, or emotionally abuses them, right? There's a lot of bad things happening within the animal agriculture for these products, right? And if you yourself, do you understand what I've said so far?
Yeah.
And if you yourself have a problem with abusing animals, then you should be vegan because that is the only way to not abuse animals.
You are vegan?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because I don't want to abuse animals. It's about the animals. It's not about diet or being healthy or the environment. It's strictly about the animals.
Yeah.
Okay? Let me give you a card to look into it. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to converse if you don't speak English very well. So that's um, scan this,
Yeah.
and there's a thing called Dominion. Watch that, okay? It has Italian subtitles. It'll be good.
Okay.
Okay? Either scan this or go on this website, and when they ask for a code, type this code.
It is a video?
Yeah, it's a video. Yeah, yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
just to learn about the practices in animal agriculture.
Thank you. What's
Okay?
your name?
I'm Chip.
Chip?
Yeah, you also have my social media here. It's called Vegan Power Lab. If you wanna,
Yeah.
if you have questions afterwards or something, you can just contact me.
Thank
okay?
you. Bye.
Have a good one. Sorry, everybody, if they don't speak English very well, it's hard to have conversations. Chip is scaling in the weight room big time. I actually have been, huh? My arms are pretty big, and I've been squatting more and more these days. You guys want to try it? No? Have you heard what I was talking to him? No? Felt like they were listening. You want to try?
What is it?
I just ask you some questions, get you to think.
Sure, why not?
Oh, love it. What are you reading, by the way?
I'm reading an Ursula Le Guin novel. She's like a science fiction author.
Oh, love it, love it. Are you into science fiction or something?
Yeah, broadly.
Do you also watch science fiction shows and stuff?
Not heaps, but yeah, like a few here and there.
Do you watch Star Trek?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the series, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh? Like
Yeah, it's
this
interesting.
whole different worlds happening and different
Yeah, it's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, nice. Can you come closer so that you're a bit in view?
Yeah, sure.
Ah, nice. What's your
Are
name?
you filming it live?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
live.
cool.
You're live on YouTube. What's your name?
Matthias.
Missy S.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
New Zealand.
New
originally.
Zealand.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
love that. Okay, I was talking to somebody about New Zealand. I heard good things.
Oh yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah, okay. So, I'll ask you, how do you feel about oppression?
Negatively, it's bad.
Okay, I like it. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
No.
Even if it benefits them, and by them I mean the powerful.
No.
Okay, and even if the powerless don't realize that they're being oppressed.
Still that is bad.
Still
Yeah.
bad, right?
As long as the oppressors know that they're
Yeah.
oppressing the
Yeah,
oppressed.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if like the oppressors have been doing it for so long that it's difficult for them to stop.
Yeah, I mean,
Still
they
bad.
should stop.
Doesn't make oppression better, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and if you yourself were to find out today that you're oppressing somebody and that you can't stop, would you see it as an urgency to stop?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I
How-
would like to think so.
Okay, perfect. How do you feel about the animals that we force into the slaughterhouse for us? Do you think we're oppressing them?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, do
Yeah.
you consume animal products?
And no, I don't.
You don't consume animal products?
No, I don't.
Are you vegan?
I'm vegetarian.
You're
yeah.
vegetarian, so
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
consume animal
I do
products.
consume.
You
some
consume
animal
dairy products.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the dairy industry?
I do. Yeah.
What do you know about it?
I know that it consumes an incredible amount of water.
Yeah.
I like roughly know how they artificially inseminate cows. To,
Yeah, they put their hands up their anus, holds their cervix. And
yeah,
it's
to
inject
produce.
semen.
Yeah. I know enough to know that I shouldn't consume
Okay, you
dairy
know.
products.
Yeah, so let's just go through it just to be sure that you know it, because that's what I want you to get from here. So, for example, as I said, like the artificial insemination is just somebody putting their hands in their anus, holding their cervix,
Yeah.
and injecting bull semen. That's pretty standard practice. Somebody has to jerk off a bull for that to happen. They usually use like a giant metal rod and insert it into the bull's anus.
Yeah.
And then they ejaculate, because it's prostate stimulation and all that.
Yeah.
And after 9 months, what do you think happens to the babies?
They kill them.
If they're male, yeah, because they don't produce
Yeah,
any milk.
yeah.
But the first thing they do is they separate them from their mothers,
Yeah.
because otherwise they would drink their mother's milk.
Yeah.
And whereas we say it's for us, right? But it's not for them, which is not necessarily true, but like that's what we consider.
Yeah.
And after 9 months, when the baby is born, they separate them. And if the baby is a female, same fate as their mother, year over year, forceful impregnation,
Yeah.
until like 6 to 8 years, when the farmers can no longer justify keeping them alive financially.
Yeah.
And then they all go to a slaughterhouse, and they can live up to 20 years, so they don't live even half their life.
Yeah.
Like, would you say, is there any difference between milk and or dairy products and animal-based products like meat and stuff like that?
I mean, from an environmental perspective, there is a difference.
Yeah, but like from the victim's perspective.
Yeah, from like an ethical perspective, I agree. It's
Yeah.
like very similar. I do have a question. I wonder what you think about using animal products in like medical industry, for example, like biomedical research, for example.
Yeah, so before we go into that, I want to know, because do you know what veganism is, for example?
Yeah, it's like an ethical framework where you
Yeah.
don't consume any animal products, or like
Yeah.
you try to mitigate the harms caused to animals or like sentient beings. Although, you know, there's like
Yeah.
it's a difficult line to draw since we don't understand sentience.
Yeah.
But
But we do know for a fact that the animals that we farm are sentient.
well, I mean, we don't know for a fact that they're sentient. Like, we don't know that we ourselves are sentient. But yeah, I agree. Like, based off of
I mean, they have
best
emotions,
knowledge.
they experience the world around them.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know a priori that is what sentience is.
There's studies out there. You can look it up. There's the
Oh,
Declaration
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Consciousness. I don't know if you know about the Declaration of Consciousness.
I have probably heard
It's
of it.
it's
at
it's
some point.
it's called the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness, where they unitedly agreed, and this was done in 2005 or 2015, and it was done again. There's another declaration like this that says most of the mammals and the animals are sentient,
By some definition,
conscious. Yeah,
conscious. Yeah.
yeah. So in that sense, all the animals we farm are the same way, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I am interested. I
Yeah.
totally agree with everything you're
Yeah.
saying. I think this like is an interesting question.
Yeah.
Do you think that we have a good definition of consciousness?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. Like, I wrestle with that question myself daily. Like what is consciousness? What is sentience? Because sentience, there's two things to sentience, right? One is feeling emotions, and the other is experiencing the world around you. And I would say that maybe it's a combination of you experiencing your emotions with the things that you see around you, with the world around you, and kind of developing emotions towards the elements and things that you see around you.
Yeah. Do you think that consciousness can exist without emotion? Or do you
Uh,
think that
that's a
consciousness
good
can
question.
exist outside of biology?
I would love to have that. I don't know.
Kind
I
of
don't
off
know.
topic.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a kind of off topic.
I am interested to know
Yeah.
what your thoughts on
Yeah.
like animal products being used
Yeah.
in biomedical research. Though.
Yeah. So the reason why I ask you about veganism, what do you think it is? Because veganism is indeed a moral standard, as you said, about opposing the exploitation of animals, right? But there's another clause to the vegan thing saying that as long as it's practicable, and there's something that I don't remember the exact wordage, but there is something in there that says practicable, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to testing animal products for like pharma companies or stuff like that, I would say, if there's an alternative, let's choose the alternative, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Like, this is also the reason why I advocate for veganism and I speak to people on the street, because there's so many alternatives nowadays that I wouldn't advocate for somebody to be vegan if they cannot be vegan. You see what I mean?
It's quite easy to.
Yeah,
be
it's
vegan,
quite
yeah.
easy to be vegan, right? In that sense. So for medical products, it's hard to say. I would argue that we should still not use animals in any way, right? Because like, if we can use people, and we say we shouldn't use people, but then we should use animals, then I would say it's just as bad. Because why? What is it so special about people that, like, there's a big difference there, that people can give consent, animals cannot. So I would say if we can use people, then let's find people who give consent to testing. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the issue there is that you can't guarantee to minimize harms in the first
Exactly,
instance, right?
yeah.
Like, even if they give consent,
But why is
and
that
you-
fair towards the animals also, right?
it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
There's this interesting line to toe there with like, how much do you value human progress as a goal in and of itself?
Yeah.
Right. And if you do value human progress, you necessarily have to kind of, hand wave, be like, oh, we actually like. I work in biomedical research,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah, okay,
and
okay.
so I wrestle with this all the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is like, I am acutely aware that
Yeah.
I am often using animal products in my research, and there are no alternatives, sadly.
If there's no alternatives, right, you do what you gotta do, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know the urgency. It's very hard for me to form an opinion. I would say it's more of a gray area right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's black and white, where I was like, oh, don't do it, or oh, do it. I would say it's, but like, the way I wrestle with this question is, what Nazis did, because you asked me about human progress, but like, for example, what Nazis
I mean,
did
they
during-
made no progress. What they did was entirely unscientific.
Oh, okay, they did
It was-
entire
it was
but
cruel and
yeah, they did a lot of
unnecessary.
cruel stuff, right? They
Yeah.
did it to people, to Jewish people, to people who were I don't know, intellectually disabled or stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't necessarily get consent out of it, and they kind of treated them just like kind of what we treat animals out of it, right? And you would say you wouldn't wrestle with that saying it's ethical, right? There's no gray line there for you saying is it ethical or unethical if they were to do it for the sake of advancing human, as you said, like progress.
Yeah.
You would say no, it's still unethical. We shouldn't do it. So there, I would argue that it's the same with animals, right? I wouldn't say for me, like obviously there's a hierarchy of value, right? Like my family values more than other people. My friends value more than other people. You value more than the people who didn't stop.
Yeah.
And but you're a stranger to me. Everybody else is a stranger. So in that sense, if I find out that somebody in a distant neighborhood in Amsterdam died, I don't care. Why would I care about that, right? It wouldn't impact me, right? So in that sense, I don't really value them that much, but that doesn't mean I don't value them that I would kill them or something. So in that sense, it's the same with animals for me. Like any other human is the same as any other animal to me. They're just entities who want to live, and they all deserve to live equally, you see?
Yeah. How do you feel about like, so I often use animal products in my research. I don't
Yeah.
test on animals.
Yeah,
Yet, I guess. I haven't had a need to.
yeah.
But like, how do you feel about animal experimentation in terms of like, I don't know, giving a good example, like there are, hundreds, maybe thousands of sort of cancer models in mice where they genetically manipulate them in order to
I think it's
study
unethical.
cancers. You think it's entirely unethical?
I think it's entirely unethical because it's the same. If I were to take that mouse and put a human being in that context, would you doubt it if it's ethical or unethical?
No, but I guess like you just said that you have an order of value.
But
right?
it's my order of value, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I wouldn't. I would always say that it's my own subjective value.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever say that means that value, that means that your value is close to nothing just because I value you close to nothing. You see
But
what I
you
mean?
go in the first instance and you say that there is like a declaration of consciousness,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you assign some value, right? So I don't think that there's an objective measure of consciousness.
Yeah.
I'll like say that first and foremost.
Yeah, I also don't think there's an objective measure. Yeah.
But I do think that animal testing provides, a level of benefit to humans that,
So with human testing, right? What is the difference between an
Yeah.
animal and a human
I mean,
that says it's okay to test on an animal but not a human?
So it would be a lot worse to genetically manipulate the
Why?
cell lineage of humans.
Why?
I mean, it feels that way, right?
It feels that way, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you consider it, really, I think about it because the way I see it, the reason why I'm vegan, the reason why I'm vegan, right? The reason why I assign value to animals is not that I assign it to them, but rather that I acknowledge that they have value on their own.
Would you take a medicine that had been tested on animals?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I need it, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deny that.
So
but
then you do assign
I wouldn't.
some sort of
But I would
value
test.
on
I would
top
take a medicine that has been tested on humans also, even if they were against consent. You see what I mean? Like,
Would you rather a medication be tested on humans that can
Yes.
consent then?
yeah. I would
Okay.
rather humans consent, and because they can, and the medication is tested on consenting individuals.
Do you have a good understanding of what it takes to get a medicine approved?
I know
and-
some of it. I know it's very
Available
complicated.
for
I know
humans?
the
Yeah.
stages. That's all I know. The stages, and that there's testing on safety testing on animals, then safety testing on humans, and then the safety testing on animals, then efficacy on animal, and efficiency, and then testing on humans and all that. But
Yeah, and then there's the 3 phases.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
clinical
the 3
trials
phases.
in humans.
Yeah, so I wouldn't like it was during COVID, right? I would argue that I would still think consent matters. Like that's the thing, in extraordinary situations, you can justify doing a lot, right? Like if I was stuck in a deserted island with you, and only one of us could survive, maybe we talk it out, and we decide that I survive, and then I would have to kill you because you wouldn't die on your own, you wouldn't want to kill yourself or something. Then would that mean that what I do to you is ethical? No. But it's sort of
Yeah.
justified in that situation, right?
I think
So-
like it's kind of circular because you're like kind of utilitarian in the sense that you're like, well, I don't know what the measure
Oh, I'm not
of-
utilitarian. I'm very much a deontologist. By the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's like, I forget how deontology differs, but it's something like,
I don't
It's
put
not like
numbers.
in-
I don't assign
yeah,
numbers. I think
okay.
everybody has intrinsic value, and
Okay.
I wouldn't, in an absolutely no case for me, the means justify the ends. For me personally, I wouldn't say it's ever ethical, right? But there's two train of thoughts also there, right? Because I would probably do unethical stuff to survive, but I would never call them ethical. You see what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So me
Interesting.
doing something versus me thinking it's ethical and unethical is different things, right?
Yeah.
But like coming back to veganism, because
So
we
does that mean? So okay, you say
Yeah.
that the means
Never-
never justify the ends.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, in that case, like you should not consume any medications that are tested on animals.
I try to not, yeah. If
Okay.
only if it's needed, but I don't need any medication, so no, I don't do that at all now. But,
Okay.
but like I'm just speaking, if I ever needed to like take cancer medication, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't. I wouldn't, even if that cancer medication was tested on humans
Which-
against their consent,
which-
I wouldn't refuse it. You see what I mean?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. So for me, it doesn't really matter if it's animals or humans. I would just not test it.
okay.
It's
So
just
I
that.
mean, that's kind of like it's kind of a bad argument because, or it's like not a very useful moral framework
It's
because
just I'm
then
just
you
being
can
consistent.
justify. Okay.
I'm just being consistent, right, with my
Yeah.
values. I think everybody has their own intrinsic value, and they all deserve to live equally, right?
Yes.
Just because I was born human and born more intelligent doesn't give me the right to insert cancer cells into a mice because he was born a mouse, right?
Yeah. I understand that line of reasoning. I think like you could use that to justify. I guess you'd just never be able to do anything. Like
You would move slower, but you would move fairer, right? Progress doesn't have to be fast, does it?
Yeah. I mean, progress is fast.
Progress is fast, but like I would say, I would argue there's even nowadays like there might be
the
solutions and alternatives to all of this, right? And like again, like with the like in extraordinary situations, you do what you got to do. But like if a situation is not extraordinary, then why not follow a good ethical path and do everything ethically, right? And ethically, I would like, even if you consider it as a gray area to test on animals, because you gotta argue, you gotta think that there is at least a gray area there, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that it is like if you use a strict definition or a strict like code
Yeah.
of ethics, then it is unethical. But I feel like you could use that to justify like humans not existing, for example.
You
like,
could, yeah. There's
and
the anti-natalist who kind of
Yeah.
use that, right? But
which
like,
is like, I think that gets into like kind of dangerous territory. I feel like it's okay to be a
that's
little
why
inconsistent. you
that's
know?
why I started with this whole thing about is it necessary or not, right? Because I feel like this distantiates everything and makes everything way clearer and way simpler now, right? Obviously, there will be fringe cases where we can have a conversation for hours about it, but the
Yeah.
reality is that
I mean,
when,
it's like, is simple good though, right? Like,
Yeah.
we live in a very complicated world. We are not sure that our like ethical frameworks are correct. Like, even the assumption that like all life is equal, like I agree.
Oh, I don't think all
fundamentally.
life is equal. I think all sentient life deserves to live, has intrinsic value on its own. Not,
Okay.
no, I don't think that
But you don't think
intrinsic
that it's
value is. I think that
equal.
intrinsic value is equal to themselves. That means you value your own life just as much as I value my own life, and just as much as a dog values their own life. I don't
Sure.
think I value my life more than them. I
And
don't
then
think
so
so.
your
It's still
claim
my
is-
whole existence.
Yeah, and then your claim is that we shouldn't be able to make decisions of value for other beings.
Exactly. We
Okay.
shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
So then, because I want to bring it back, right? So, tell me, like, you've heard what veganism is. You've heard what happens to the dairy cows in industry, and you know you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
We talked about oppression, and you recognize that that's a form of oppression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, aside from this job that you have, which we can talk about it for hours, and you might see it as a gray area because you might not be there to understand what I mean, right? With the intrinsic value.
Yeah.
But like, you can definitely not argue the fact that you don't need to buy any dairy products or any animal
Yes,
products, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can argue that you can be vegan, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So my question to you is, why are you not vegan now?
Largely convenience, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like I try to be mostly vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in like social situations where like someone offers me a cookie, for example, I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh no, I don't want to like, participate in the social exchange because of my values.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's mostly that, to be honest.
But like, even like if somebody were to offer you the paw of a dog, of a dead dog, just have this that dog's paw or that dog's head. It's a
Yeah.
delicacy for me.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself as refusing that?
I think that if I was in a situation where it was culturally important to the other person for me to eat meat, I think that I would consume it.
So, what if it's culturally important for you to cut the clitoris of a woman?
Yeah, I
Like
think that
you
that
have
is-
female genital mutilation, right?
I think that
Does-
these are false equivalences now.
my question to you is because what I'm trying to see is where do you draw the
My,
line? Because you say that
yeah,
culture justifies killing an animal
yes.
because you're in a culture, right? But
Yeah, I mean-
but you would argue that just culture doesn't justify killing a human being, does it?
Yeah.
So
no, it
then, what
doesn't.
is it the difference between them that justifies the difference in treatment?
Yeah, I think that it's social acceptability, right?
It's just social acceptability.
Yeah.
So if you were in a culture that it was socially acceptable to kill humans, would you say
I probably
it's-
wouldn't think twice and kill humans. Obviously now, like,
Yeah.
I think that that is wrong.
But no,
And
no, I don't mean if you were
hope-
born, like you yourself, the person that you are now, if you were to go into a society where they could possibly kill humans.
I mean, there
for
are.
food.
We like agree that war is acceptable, which requires
Yeah.
killing humans, right?
I don't think a war is acceptable.
Neither
no.
do I.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. But okay, so you don't think war is acceptable, so you wouldn't kill humans, right? You wouldn't go
No.
to war. You're against the idea.
I'm
of
very
killing.
much pacifist.
Yeah. Same for me. But can you really be a pacifist when you're paying for the violence towards animals? When you're paying for unneeded violence towards animals, even if it is somebody handing you a cookie, even if it's still there's violence behind that cookie. You see, you are supporting that
Sure.
violence.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, and I know that according to a strict code of ethics, like that act is wrong.
But it's not just being
But-
about strict. It's about being not even that strict, right? Because like, why don't you eat meat, for example? Because you said you're a vegetarian.
Yeah. Yeah, largely ethical reasons, like
Yeah,
ending
but
the life of an animal.
That means
early.
you're not consistent, right? Because for the dairy
I know I'm not
industry,
consistent,
for the
yeah.
dairy, for the dairy
I'm
industry,
aware.
for the dairy industry, cows are killed just as much as in the meat industry. So you're just still supporting an unethical system by consuming dairy, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And one could argue there's even worse practices in the dairy industry because cows are forcefully impregnated year over year and they're kept alive and they're like
Yeah.
in worse situations, right? So
Yeah. I think another like interesting point is, I think that. So I was vegan for a while, and I was quite like hardcore about it, and I have found one of the reasons that I like wanted to do that is to try and convince other people to do it.
yeah.
And I convinced no one. Like,
Yeah.
in fact, I probably made the problem worse by being like, quite obstinate about it. And I would like to think more success in convincing people to reduce their meat consumption through being inconsistent. Strangely,
But it's not about meat consumption. You seem to
yeah.
feel it's about not seeing
sorry,
animals
meat
as
or-
resources,
Yeah,
right?
so meat or dairy, right? Like, I think that we should all reduce our intake of those things.
But why? Why should we reduce? So you condoning reducing is anyway like because if we want to discuss now activism, we can do that. But like
Yeah.
the problem isn't.
Sure.
The problem.
I mean,
because if you-
elimination is the goal.
Well,
right?
it's not even the goal is not seeing animals as resources because like
Sure.
if we wouldn't see humans like we wouldn't say, oh, we have to drink the milk of humans. What do you mean?
I mean,
A
we do see
female-
humans as resources, though. Like,
We don't see humans as resources. Come
I
on,
mean, we are resources, right?
Well,
Like,
I mean, in a
society,
in a governmental
society's
system, in a society, but you don't see humans as resources, do you?
I mean, if I'm looking at it in a pragmatic way, I do, right? Like, if you have a company,
But
you
in a
employ,
real- in a re-
like employ people.
I see
to
what
do
you mean
things,
in that
and
sense,
that's,
but like even still, then those people are not resources to you. They're still
human beings.
human beings.
I
They're
agree.
still entities who deserve to live and be free and pursue
Yes.
happiness.
Yes.
Whereas for animals, you don't apply the same logic, right?
No, yeah.
Right? Because saying reducing means exactly saying that it confirms the status of animals. It just says, hey, at least we're not doing it to so many animals, but we're still like a person who kills humans, telling them to reduce is obviously better. Reducing, you kill less people is better,
Yeah.
but he's still a killer.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? When you say reduce animal products, you're still seeing animals as resources. You're still exploiting them.
I agree, yeah. And I think that like your logic is consistent. I would just worry about like the efficacy of the approach towards it. Like I think that, it is better to reduce than to not, right? And I agree that elimination should be the goal. I dream of a world where no animals have to be harmed. But I think it's much easier to convince someone who is more similar to you than it is to convince someone who has completely different ideas.
And that's okay, right? Like, if you want to go vegan and convince people to reduce, you do you. I cannot police you, right?
Yeah.
But what I want to know right now from you is, why are you not vegan, right? It's
Yeah.
not about why you are not convincing others, but rather why yourself. What would, and not even why, because like I kind of understand where you're coming from, but what I want to know is, going forward, what would get you to be vegan, to stop the suppression of animals?
I mean, I'd have to make like an internal decision
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah, and I think that I will again at some
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Do you understand the urgency in the matter?
yeah, I do.
Do you understand that when you will buy an animal product, an animal will be exploited for you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you're against it, right? So you see the inconsistency. in
I
it.
do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a flawed human, you
Yeah,
know, and
okay.
I think that that's okay.
But that's also not okay to say, right? Like saying, admitting that you're a flawed human, just because I want to end this conversation, but like admitting that you're a flawed human, you have to understand that admitting that you're a flawed human means nothing, right?
Sure.
It only means something when you try to change that flaw.
Okay.
Like me saying I'm a flawed human because I rape women doesn't mean anything if I continue raping women, right?
Again, a false equivalence, but
Yeah.
okay.
No, it's a false equivalence. Well, we rape animals for the dairy industry.
Sure.
Right? Like our forceful insemination, artificial insemination is forceful insemination.
Yeah.
It's something that they didn't choose themselves. It's against their consent.
Yeah.
But regardless, like the way I see it, it's an urgency because. Oh fuck! I forgot my train of thought. Anyway,
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry, but you got it. You
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You got it, right? You got the sense of it.
My friend is waiting over there, but
Yeah.
that was a cool conversation. man.
Okay.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for having this conversation
Yeah.
with me. You understand the fact that you need to be vegan. You understand the idea, and please don't just sleep on it and say, "I have my own flaws. I just need to continue this way," because
Sure.
that just means ignorance. And do you want to be ignorant? Because you acknowledge that
I
there's a
d-
problem that
I-
you can't change, but
yeah.
you don't want to do that.
I don't, but I know that I am, and it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's not okay though. It's not. Being ignorant and knowing that you're ignorant and accepting it is not okay. You should know that.
I think that it is. I think that like striving towards being better is good, and I think that
Nobody's telling you to be bitter. I'm just telling you to not oppress animals, man. I'm not telling you to
Yeah.
be bitter. I'm not telling you to have special emotions about it. I'm just saying, don't buy animal products. That's it. It's easy,
sure, yeah,
right?
yeah, you're right.
I'm not saying you need to go out there and convince others to be vegan. If you feel like you can't do that and that consumes you, don't do that.
Yeah.
But at least you yourself realize the bare minimum you can do is not oppress animals.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there's a life that I can live that doesn't involve some oppression of animals.
I understand if you have like your job, like there's people who have a job where they have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not here to argue, but where you have a chance to not do it, why would you choose to do it? You see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like why would you choose like selectively to oppress an animal? Like, why would you buy that cheese? Why would you buy that animal products? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you have choices a lot of the times, and maybe even in your job you need to look if you have choices. I don't know, but like the easiest thing that you can do right now is at least not oppress animals for everything else that you do.
I agree. It is easy, and
Yeah.
I should think more deeply about it and do it. Yeah.
Okay, let me just give you a card. 'Cause, I like that natural ending so far. This is my social media, Vegan Power Lab.
Cool.
You can, if you ever have more questions or something, contact me there.
Done.
If you scan that code,
Yeah.
this one, or go on this website and type in this code, there's a thing called the most important speech you'll ever hear. Give that a watch.
Cool.
You might like it. It might
Okay.
incentivize you to understand what I'm talking about.
Cool.
Because he talks way better than me. I'm no.
You're
I'm
eloquent, man.
I'm eloquent. I'm
You're-
okay.
you're
I'm
eloquent and convincing, and it's good, yeah.
Okay, thank you. What
I
was your
hope-
name again? 'Cause I
Matthias.
forgot.
You're
Matthias.
Chip,
Yeah,
right?
I'm Chip. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you for having this conversation
All
with me,
good.
Matthias, and live a vegan life. Okay, don't let it sleep.
I'll
Okay.
do the best I can.
Thank you. Well, this was not an easy conversation, huh? The guy was clearly very intelligent. Perpetuating the exploitation of animals in different form using a medical formula that was obtained for exploitation hundreds of years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with. I think, as I said, like if you just insert where it is an animal, insert a human. Does that make it better? Does that make it easy? If not, then don't do it. It's easy as that. Or at least that's how it is for me, you know, because like when you remove speciesism from the equation, then you can't discriminate based on species anymore. So some vegetarians are so slippery. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are. 50 minutes. You want to try a social experiment? Okay. Okay, no worries. When people look at me and smile at me, I ask them. I got banned from the chat for making a valid argument. Luna, what valid argument did you make, Luna? What is your argument? Are you trying to argue that it's okay to oppress animals? Is that what your argument is? Yes? Are you saying it's okay to oppress animals? I don't think you're making a very good argument then. Because it is. Is it okay to oppress humans? Tell me, Luna, is it okay to oppress humans? And you not being willing to listen proves my point. I'm listening. Tell me, is it okay to oppress humans? Luna, tell me. I'm listening. Want to try? Hi. Okay, Luna, so I see you failed to answer the question. I ask you again, is it okay to oppress humans? Come on, Luna. You say you make an argument. Make an argument. Tell me, is it okay to oppress humans? Come to Brussels. I'm not here to type a book comment. So you could have said yes or no. That would have been a less. Yes, it's okay to oppress humans. Okay, well then I don't think it's when you're being a sociopath. I don't think it's. I'm interested in having a conversation with you because I don't think you're being honest that it's okay to oppress humans because you're either you're having lack of empathy or something. Yeah. But I'm gonna focus on getting some people to talk to. Want to try a social experiment? Coder arrow. We love eating meat. Eat plant-based meat. There you go. Problem solved. So funny. Thinking it's okay to oppress humans. Wow. Ali, I see that you silenced her, or them. I don't know what Luna is, what they identify as, but it's okay. Just like if they're not being bad, they're just expressing bad opinions. Try to ignore them, I guess. I don't know. We don't want to like suppress somebody from saying something bad, but rather if they're just being insulting, if they're being copying somebody's names or something. I don't know. Like we should. Yeah, only for 1 minute. Yeah. Oh, for name calling. Okay, yeah, name calling is fine. Yeah, don't name call. Don't name call. Behave. You want to try a social experiment? Apparently not. Okay. Vegan stoner lady. Thank you. Nice. You guys want to try a social experiment? I just ask you some questions, get you to think.
What are the questions about?
Oh, that you will see. Oppression.
Huh?
About oppression.
Ooh.
You want to try it?
Is it gonna be posted?
It's live. Come on, you just get to think. Why not?
Oppression?
Oppression. Yeah. How do you feel about oppression?
I don't.
Are you for it? Are you against it?
I don't know many people that are for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough, right? Well, you'd be surprised. Some people say it's justified. But yeah. Let's say. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
It just depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. When should the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless?
When the powerless can't govern themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, oppression doesn't mean oppression basically means cruel or unjust treatment. It doesn't mean necessarily governing somebody, right? It doesn't mean necessarily taking like if you take care of somebody, it wouldn't mean oppression, right? But I mean like oppression is cruel or unjust. It's not fair towards them, right? So would you say that the powerful should have the right to do something cruel or unjust to somebody just because they have more power over them?
No,
No.
No, okay. Even if it benefits them, like by them I mean the powerful.
no, definitely not. Well,
Yeah.
like,
I can see why, but it still shouldn't happen.
Okay, okay. And even if the powerless, they don't know that they're being oppressed, like they don't realize it.
Is it hindering their existence? Or are they happy and just fine with it?
I would say it definitely, since it's oppression, they definitely feel some effects of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that's not good.
that's not good. Not good. Okay. And if the powerful say that they've been doing it for so long that it's difficult to stop.
there's that.
I feel like change got to happen. Like, there's big moments in like history that like big switch flips and like the world flips for a second. But yeah, I think things should change.
But they should change, right?
Yeah.
They shouldn't continue oppressing just because they can, and just because they've been doing it for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So if you yourself were to find out that you're oppressing, should you want to stop? Should you stop?
I mean, I guess so. But I mean, like, I guess I'll say yes, but I'll hear another question. I feel like I know where this is going.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the final question, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses? Do you think we're oppressing them?
No.
No. Is it not cruel or unjust to force somebody into a slaughterhouse because we can, for something that is optional to us?
I guess, but I don't know. It's different.
Why is it different?
'Cause we eat animals, you know. It's just like what we do.
But we don't have to.
No, we don't have to. Also, like, logically speaking, there's no argument for eating animals. Like every time vegans win this argument, because like ethically and like logically speaking, there's all these points, and there's like. no
So
good
ethically
point.
speaking, what you're saying is that eating meat or eating animals is unethical.
Oh yeah, it's well. You have to be fine with it. Like,
But just because you're fine with it doesn't make it ethical or unethical, right? Like ethics doesn't necessarily
it's
constitute.
unethical to eat meat. Yeah.
It's unethical to eat meat. Okay, so then why are you still doing it if you find it unethical?
Just do it. Just born with it, raised with it.
But
I
you
don't,
said
I don't
that-
have a direct issue with it.
But you saw in the experiment where I asked you if the powerful do it for a long time and they have difficulty stopping it because they've been doing it for a long time. Does that make it right? And you said no, right? So I ask you, like you're the oppressor here, right? You're oppressing animals. So just because you have a difficulty of stopping doesn't mean that you shouldn't stop, right?
You're not wrong. And like I
Okay.
said, like that's just part of the argument. Like,
But what would incentivize you to stop? Because like let's put it this way. Let's bring it to reality, okay? In reality, you say it's unethical, right? So there's some part of you that know that it's wrong to kill animals and exploit them for something that is optional to us, right? So then, like realistically speaking, why not stop? Like, because you can get great vegan products, you can have great vegan nutrition, you can have everything you need, taste, nutrition, and everything, while not oppressing animals. So what's keeping you from doing that?
nothing.
Nothing. But yet you continue doing it.
Yeah.
So you know what you call a person who ignores an issue and continuously participates in it?
No.
Ignorant.
Okay.
Do you want to continue being ignorant?
No, but I think there are bigger issues like in this earth, like to deal with right now, like war.
Fair enough.
That's bigger to deal with. You know.
And I appreciate you saying that, but that doesn't mean that you can't. When you eat, you make a decision, right?
Yeah.
You make the decision. Nobody forces you into that decision. So why not decide to not oppress animals? Why not make the decision where you eat plant-based instead of an animal? You can still care about the war all day long. Just when you make that decision for food, just don't oppress an animal.
You got anything on this?
Not much.
No. Nothing's gonna change it. It's just a lifestyle.
Yeah, but it's a lifestyle of oppression, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It doesn't directly affect me, and it's kind of like it's a way of life. It's a very common way of living.
But wouldn't that be available? Wouldn't that all oppressors throughout history would say the same thing, right? Like when Nazis were persecuting Jewish people, they could say it doesn't really affect me, so I can just continue doing it, right? Because they weren't affected by it. It's the same thing here. Just because you still have victims, just because you're not the victim, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be considering it, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. Where are you from, by the way?
Canada.
Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I would assume that you care about liberty and justice and all this, right? Kind of like the same as US. I somehow in my head Canada is just a better version of US. So
Yeah.
yeah. So then if you value liberty and all this, shouldn't you understand that also animals value liberty and they
I mean,
want
I
to
got
live?
what I need, so I'm good.
So what if there were other people next to you who weren't free and in fact were persecuted or held captive
people.
because of you? They're humans, right?
Yeah.
So what is the morally significant difference between a human and an animal that says it's okay to enslave one but not the other?
I eat one and not the other.
Okay, but like you can eat the other also. It's that's not the
Yeah,
difference.
you technically could.
Yeah. So then
but-
that's not the difference.
That's
So you could eat both. It's not the difference, right? So what's the difference between them?
between animals and people.
Yeah,
You
that
told
that
me.
justifies killing one and not the other. For something that is optional.
Where we can make bigger impacts on the planet, the earth. Animals really can't do that. They can't cure cancer. They can't do. They're animals.
Would you argue that there's human beings also on this planet who can't do that?
Yeah, but they can still make an impact in some social way.
Well, what if there's a person who cannot make absolutely any impact? Could we send that person to a slaughterhouse? Should we multiply that person and then eat them or send them to slaughterhouses for something that's optional to us? We don't even have to eat them, right? We can just use them for different things. Enslave them.
But that's also kind of the whole back to like the oppression thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, but like my question to you is, because you haven't answered that. Like,
Well,
what is
but,
the
like,
why is it okay to oppress an animal but not a human?
because we're people. We don't do that to each other. Like
Why?
we used to, but like that's bad.
But that's not an argument. That's just saying that why is it bad to do this? And you saying because we do this, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not a reason.
Like
So,
I said before, there's no ethical way to describe it. Like vegan arguments always win.
yeah. So then again, like we come back to the same thing because there is no morally significant difference. Would you do it to a dog?
Do what?
Like what we
Yes.
do to cows, what we do to pigs? Would
I mean,
you?
shit happens, yeah.
Would you would you pay for a dog to have their throat slit so that you can eat some of their flesh?
I mean, if I wanted to, I guess, yeah.
So if you wanted to, you would do that. Okay, so you draw the line strictly at humans.
Probably.
Why do you draw that line? Why don't you eat humans?
But like, okay, you're saying like animals and people like on the same scale, like they hold the equal value, right?
No, they all have. So what I'm saying is that you value your life
Yeah.
just as much as your friend values his life,
Yeah.
as much as I value my life, and as much as that dog values their life, and as much as any animal values their own life. To them is their whole existence.
Yeah.
You can choose to not eat like a hamburger or whatever you want to eat, by slashing their throat and removing their whole existence, because for you it's 5 minutes of pleasure. For them it's their whole existence, man.
Mhm.
Like, does that seem right to you? Does that seem fair to do to somebody?
Yeah.
No. So but you still want to be ignorant towards it.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
You're fine being ignorant.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's nothing I can tell you.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Just stop being ignorant, I would say. Yeah. Arguments are lame. I feel like he probably had another conversation with a vegan person or something, with a vegan activist, because he said vegans always win the moral arguments. At least he acknowledges that. But now at least he thinks that he's ignorant, which he is. So yeah. You wanna try? Interesting day today. We had a child, and then his mother didn't let him stay to talk. Then we had a vegan. Then we had a vegetarian, and now a person who's ignorant. Never a dull moment. Huh? Oh, and we also had the guy who didn't speak English very well. A total narcissist. By the way, everybody, if you're watching and haven't liked the video, what are you doing? Like it. And subscribe, for God's sake, subscribe. We gotta get those numbers up. I'm kidding, do what you want. I would appreciate it. You wanna try a social experiment? You too. Search if I liked it, said Mark. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. Thank you for the good advocacy. Hey, Ali, thank you for liking it. Ellie, naughty. Martin being fun. Oh, well, she wasn't vegan, she was plant-based. Nothing better than a big, juicy vegan steak, you say, huh? I agree. There's nothing better than a big, vegan, juicy steak. Vegan. You wanna try it? Hi.
Hi.
You wanna try a social experiment?
Yes.
Where did you come from? Because I saw you.
From there, and then I saw
Ah, okay, okay. What's your name?
Oscar,
Oscar. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. How old are you?
13.
13. Okay. Do you like animals?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have an animal particular that you like more than others?
Cats?
Cats. Do you have a cat at home?
No.
No. But would you like to have a cat at home?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you like cats?
Because I think they're cute, and sometimes I like to play with them and pet them.
As you've been, have you played with a cat before?
Yes.
Have you noticed that they have their own personality, that they want to do what they want to do?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
I know a cat that sometimes she wants only to play, and sometimes she's like the whole day outside and she only comes for food.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so now let's shift gears a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like it if people harmed animals, like if they abused them? Like if,
No.
No. When I say abuse, what would you say about? What would you think? How would you define it? Abuse.
Abuse, like doing something that the animal doesn't want.
I like that. That's a very good explanation. I would say it's physical or emotional harm, but I like that even more. I like your definition even more. Okay, so then you would say you like cats. You say that you find that they have personalities. You say you like animals. You don't like the abusing of animals. But how do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses for us? Like the animals that we eat, that we use to get milk from, or stuff like that. Do you think we're abusing them?
Yes, I think.
Yeah. So do you consume any animal products?
Yes, I do.
So what would, given that you say you're against all of these animals, I'm not judging by the way, right? Like if you're against all of this, like why not stop? Why not be vegan? Do you know what veganism is?
Yes, I know what veganism is. I don't know. I am like eating cows because I like to eat it. I like the meat. And I find veganism is okay when you do it.
Yeah.
It is right. I also find it isn't good that I eat meat. But like I think it is in the natural cycle of the world that there are animals that are eaten by the humans, and some animals also eat humans.
But do you think it's fair towards the animals that like do you think that we eat some animals, right? The cows, for example, right? We bring them to life for the sole purpose of us killing them and eating them, right? Like that's their whole existence to them, right? Do you think it's fair towards them that we do this to them?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so does it matter that we like how they taste like? Like if somebody liked how a cat tastes like, would we find it fair if they would kill the cat?
No.
Right? Because it's, as you acknowledge that they have personalities, cows also have personalities. They also want to do whatever they want to do sometimes, right? So it's the same thing. It's they're very similar in that way. They just look different. But do you
Yes.
think that we should decide whether somebody is worth be keeping alive or killing based on how they look like? No. So it sounds to me like your whole values should say that you shouldn't be consuming animal products, right? So like going forward from here, what would get you to say I don't want any animal to be exploited for me anymore, to be abused from me.
I didn't understand the question.
So thank you for saying that. So my question is like going like in the future, right? Like what happened in the past so far, it is what it is. But in the future, what what would make you not not pay for animal exploitation, not support exploitation, like not eat animal products?
What what would bring me to not eat
Yeah,
or
like what
kill?
would make you say tomorrow that when you wake up tomorrow or a week from now or whenever you eat, let's say what you said, a cow, that you say I don't want to eat a cow because they also deserve to live. What would get you to say that, to go that down that path?
Maybe if I was at the Bauernhof at the farm and I would get like friends with the cow and then the next day I see the cow in the slaughter.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So if you get like some connection with them, right? I mean, there's sanctuaries out there where you can go and see and connect with them, and you can see there's even like videos online where somebody throws a ball and the cow brings it back. They behave very much like the dogs and whatever. There's like the cows that we see in the fields, they just sit. But like if you see in sanctuaries, cows run, they feel happiness, they want scratches under their on their throat, on their belly. They're just like other animals, you know. So, would you see yourself as do you see yourself as an urgency to not to at least look into it and say I don't want to like I don't know I don't want I don't like the way I see your position right now is I'm afraid to make a decision, but like do you see yourself as it's important for you to at least look more into it and learn more about it so that you can make a decision? Because when you make the decision to eat an animal product, an animal dies, loses their whole life for you.
Yes, I feel mm, it is okay that I feel it is good that some people don't eat meat, but they are eating all the like soya.
Yeah.
And there is two parts. There is the climate change and there is killing animals.
Yeah.
And like killing animals isn't good for isn't is bad for the karma, I would say. And eating soy is bad for the climate because you are rolling all down the
Where do you live? Do you live here in Netherlands?
no Zurich.
Zurich. Okay. What do you think that the cows eat? The cows, the chickens, the pigs. What do you think they eat?
Grass. Yes, they also eat. You
Soy.
also
They
yes.
eat a lot of soy. They
Yes.
actually, in fact, one cow eats more soy than you could eat. Like 30%, I think, in Netherlands, 30% of their diet consists of soy. Soy and corn, right? Which is things that we ourselves could eat. And
Yeah, and also the water and everything.
water usage is much worse for animals, right? They do, like, so if your concern is the environment, you should know that being plant-based is far superior for the environment.
Yes.
Monumentally superior, right? So in that sense, there's the ethical point of view where we say it's wrong to kill animals. There's the environment point of view where using animals is worse for the environment. And it's also the health point of view, if you think about it, where it's not good for us to eat a lot of meat because it's got a lot of saturated fat. It's not, I don't know if you know a lot about this, but like it's not the best thing that we can eat, right? So then why not stop? it's about the ethics of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just because like it's wrong to do it. Like imagine if if you care about the environment, let's just put it this way: would you say that it's okay if there were half the people on this planet? Wouldn't the environment be better if there were half the people on the planet?
Yes, it'd be better.
But does that mean we should kill half the people?
No.
No, right? So that's even if it were better for the environment to kill animals, doesn't mean we should kill animals, right? It's the same thing.
Yes, I get your point.
Yeah, because it's wrong to do it for something. It's optional to us. We can choose not to. Like a lion, because you mentioned also at the beginning, a lion has to eat animals. They're carnivores. They don't get a choice. We get a choice. We're omnivores. We get to choose. We have this luxury. So why would we choose to do this to an
Yes.
animal? You know? Can I give you some cards to look into it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you said you like cats. Let me give you one with cats. I think I have one.
Ja. Aha, ich glaube, es ist bald fertig. How long does it still go?
That's it. That's it. I'll just give you a card.
Ich bin gerade fertig.
Go on this web, scan this, or go on this website right here and type in this code when they ask you for a code, and watch the most important speech you'll ever hear. Okay?
Okay.
Can you give that a watch?
Yes.
It teaches you about dairy, about eggs, what animals go through for these products. It's not a lot of blood. Sometimes they show it, but when they show that, you can. If you don't have to watch that. But like just at least be informed about what's happening behind it, because once you learn about it, I'm sure that you don't want to participate in it. Okay? Can that for me?
Yes.
What's your name? Again, I'm sorry.
Oscar.
Pascal?
Oscar.
Oscar.
Pascal's the name of my father.
Ah, okay. That's quite a coincidence. Okay. Nice to meet you, Oscar.
Yes.
Think about them, okay? There's victims behind it. Share that with your family. Share that with your father also. And make a decision about it, okay? We don't want animals to die for
Yes.
us.
And can I shout out my TikTok?
Yeah, shout out your TikTok, yeah.
Very creative fish or oskri.ch. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, nice. Have a good one, Oscar.
Thank you.
Way to go. Thank you. I think it was a good enough conversation. I mean, that's the thing with kids, you know. I don't think you can hope for more than planting seeds with kids. Opening up the mind. That's what you want. You want them to see the perspective. They decide eventually, of course, just like everybody else, but they gotta see all the perspective. You wanna try it? Hi.
Is it live?
It's live, yeah. Hi. Where are you guys from?
England.
England. Love it. Okay. What's your name?
Nag.
Nag. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you. How about you?
Rojan.
Rajan. Nice to meet you. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. Let me get the questions because I have a different set of questions. I'm just gonna try something. Yeah. So I have a couple of social experiments, and I'll ask you this one for you.
One sec.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna ask you 5 would you rather questions, okay? So, would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Dog.
Love it. Is it because you like cats or dogs more? Or?
No.
Cats just get to go out.
Oh, okay.
Dogs don't really.
Okay, that's why.
Get fed every day.
Okay.
Do nothing.
Okay. Would you rather be able to talk to animals temporarily or temporarily take one of their enhanced senses or capabilities?
Oh, the enhanced capabilities.
Can I ask why for
I
both of them?
can jump. I can jump off a building like a cat.
Oh, okay. So you can jump off a building like a cat. I like that. It's temporary though. You just temporarily
Yeah,
would be
that's
jumping
right.
off a building.
Just
Okay.
once.
How about you? Why do you want to talk to animals?
I want to understand what they think.
Hmm?
I want to understand what they think.
Oh, you want to
rather-
understand how they think.
yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay. Would you rather have the intelligence of a dog or that of a pig?
Dog.
Would you be surprised to find out that pigs are more intelligent than dogs?
Yes. They eat
Yeah.
Yeah, well, pigs actually in sanctuaries, you know, they what happens is pigs they go outside, they pick flowers and they bring them to their home, and then decorate their house just for the sake of decoration. Yeah, you have there's videos online. You can look what I've said. There's online. There's also videos online of pigs where they work together to free other pigs. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff. They also have sex for pleasure. So
shit. Really?
yeah. So pigs are very intelligent. Yeah. Okay. The next question is a bit of a hard one, okay? So, would you rather be a well-fed farm animal whose life is full of exploitation and cut severely short when the farmer says you're no longer worth being alive,
Pigs.
or a wild animal who's mostly starving but you get to live your life free for how you want to and as long as you can?
I'd rather
Farmer.
be. No. Why would you be the farm animal that
Because you
dies?
get fed really well. And you live
But
a
you
good
don't get
life.
fed what you want. Keep that in mind. You get fed only what they
But
think
they
is
have a good
best.
life.
No.
Well, they
He said they die.
well, a good life, it's a life full of exploitation, and you die
Oh,
whenever
oh,
the
no.
farmer
Sorry,
says,
no.
No.
The free animal.
Second one. Yeah.
yeah, okay,
Is it dogs and pigs? Is that the?
I like that, okay. And if you could choose to be a farm animal in today's world, which one would you be? A cow, a cow for meat, a cow for milk, like dairy, a pig, or a chicken?
Chicken.
A chicken.
But
Can I,
then take their eggs and they must feed them.
Yeah. But all farm animals are treated bad.
all farm animals are
Literally.
treated badly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to ask questions like this, and I have a couple of social experiments where I want to get people to see it from the perspective of animals, right? Do you consume any animal products?
I was vegetarian, but not anymore.
Yeah, but like even
Yeah.
vegetarians, they consume dairy products and eggs,
Yeah.
right? So behind all of these animal products, there's a lot of exploitation of animals, and
Yeah.
not just exploitation, but eventual slaughter, right? So
That's
when I ask you these questions and try to put you in the shoes of animals, you yourself recognize that there's no
Yeah.
farm animal that lives nicely, right? So if you wouldn't like to be in their shoes, then why would we choose to put them in those situations?
Yeah.
Right?
It's really bad.
It's really bad. So I love that you're acknowledging that it's bad, but do you think there's something you can do about it yourself as an individual?
Stop eating animals.
Stop eating animals and stop eating animal products.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just to put things into perspective, what do you know about the dairy industry?
Oh, it's really bad.
They use
the
they
milk.
mass feed the cows and stuff to make them produce more dairy.
Well, I'll just run you through this just to get a bit of knowledge from this, right? So, why do you think cows produce milk?
Feed their children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So farmers, they don't wait for them to decide when they want to have kids on their own, right? But rather they forcefully impregnate them. The procedure is literally they're being held in a thing that it's called a rape rack. Like they're held by their neck. Somebody puts their hands in their anus, holds their cervix, and injects bull semen. Somebody else has to jerk off a bull for that to happen. That's standard practice. This is standard practice, by the way, right? And after 9 months, when the baby is born, what do you think happens to the babies?
Yeah, it's gets
Maybe
taken
it's
away,
taken
killed. Yeah.
Yeah, so first they get separated from their mother because the milk has to go for human consumption, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise they would drink the milk. And if the baby's a male, yeah, they're useless. So they either get grown up to a year and then get killed, or they get killed directly. Or on some farms, it's not legal, but they still do it. They just let them die of starvation. It does happen also. But and if they're female, same cycle as their mother, year over year forceful impregnation, until like 6 to 8 years, when they can no longer produce enough that the farmer can keep them alive financially. So they say they all go to a slaughterhouse. They're basically treated just like resources, just like they're as good as only as much as they give
Yeah.
them, right? So, do you yourself want to be part of the system? Do you recognize that when you buy an animal product, you pay, you support the system directly?
Yeah.
Would you see yourself as stopping being part of this system?
Yeah.
What will get you
The
to say?
milk thing is horrible.
What will get you to say right now? Fuck this! I'm not being part of any of this.
I don't drink cow milk anyway.
Cheese?
I drink oat milk. Oh, cheese, yeah. Cheese.
Yeah, everybody says that. Yeah, I know.
don't like
But
cow milk.
cheese is the same, right? It's
Yeah.
it's a product
It's
of
a
cow's
bad,
milk.
bad thing.
Yeah.
It's good what you're doing here, though.
But what would get you right now to say, no more? I don't want to support this system anymore, right? It's the bare minimum we can do to them is not pay for them to get exploited.
Yeah. 100%.
And knowing that you live in UK, you have so many readily available
Yeah,
options now, right?
That's really good, though.
Definitely.
It's a good message.
Changed our day.
Okay, let me just give you a card and let you
Yeah, of
let you know
course.
this. I'll ask you one final question, and it's not something that I'm like trying to catch up on this, but you gotta ask this yourself. You don't have to answer me, but ask yourself how many more animals have to die or be exploited for you going forward. Okay? Because when you will buy one animal product, one animal will die, and it's their whole existence for them, and for you it's what 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you even remember what you ate 2 weeks ago? Probably not, right? We forget, but their life is gone already, okay?
Yeah.
Let me just give you some cards to look into it. And please make a decision because it's not when when you buy an animal product, we put an animal through these practices. So I'll also give you a card. Let me just tell you one thing that I urge you to watch. It's if you go on this other side, scan this code, go on this website and or type that code. There's a thing called the most important speech you'll ever hear. It's in English. It's a very good speech. It teaches you about eggs. It teaches you about honey. It's good to know what you're paying for regardless.
Yeah.
And if you decide that you don't want to be part of it, and I hope you do, there's plenty of resources there. There's Challenge 20 today, hook you up with a nutritionist, send you vegan recipes every day, all for free. It's all free, and you just gotta have one to do it. Okay, that's all you gotta do. And while you're here in Amsterdam, I strongly urge you to try the vegan restaurants because they're monumentally superior. Okay.
I'll have a look into it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good one. I'm trying this thing where I don't tell them everything. You know that I let them decide something on their own. Okay, I think I'm up for one more conversation and then I'm kind of tired. Hey, Chase is here. Hey, Chase. I wish you came to Amsterdam, man. That would have been cool. Hang out here, do some activism together. I think we mostly just planted seeds today. That's okay. It's good. And we're gonna get some music soon. So, when I say subscribe, everybody, I say it also because there's gonna be some really nice videos coming up soon. I'm working on them, and I'm not gonna be the one doing the editing, so it might end up even better. Not sure others had same issues, but your voice was breaking. What do you mean, like you weren't hearing it correctly? Yeah, it was a bit. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm guessing it's maybe if it's the wind and they're trying to do a form of noise cancellation or something. I don't know. No, the microphone, the battery should be fine. Is it still doing that? It's still cracking, okay. Maybe it's the wind. Let me see if I put it like this because the wind is coming from there. It's minor. I'll check it out afterwards, after this is done. It's minor. I hope you guys can tolerate it. Can you guys hear the music? Martin, what a legend. Thank you so much, Martin, for the donation. So nice of you, Martin. Thank you. You want to try? That's the tang. The problem is that now that she's singing, less people are seeing me with the sign. You wanna try it?
That's the experiment.
I ask you some questions, get you to think of it.
Oh no.
No? You don't wanna think for a bit?
Yeah, no.
Are you sure?
Yeah, okay. Let's try it out.
Okay. So how do you feel about oppression?
This is not good.
Not good, not
Yes.
good. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
Of course not. I mean, it's the powerful. That's by definition shouldn't. Should they should be able to help those
Yeah.
who can't help themselves.
Yeah, so just
Yes.
because they have power doesn't mean they get to oppress them, right?
Right.
Okay, even if it benefits them, and by them I mean the powerful?
More so. More
Okay.
so, actually.
Even if the powerless don't realize that they're being oppressed?
So that's if the powerless don't, then I guess ignorance is bliss.
But would you say is it still wrong that they're oppressing, even if the other person?
As long as somebody thinks it's wrong, then I think it shouldn't be done.
Okay, what do you think? Do you think it's wrong for somebody who has power to oppress somebody else just because they, and to justify it by saying they don't realize that they're oppressed?
No. You should, so that it shouldn't. You shouldn't oppress people just because you can. I don't
Okay.
believe you should.
And even if the powerful have been doing it for so long that it's difficult for them to stop? It's part of their tradition, maybe? I don't know.
I think you should, especially they should learn that that oppressing people is not good. They should somebody should teach them.
Okay. And all of this has been leading to my final question:
Alright.
is how do you think we're oppressing animals when we force them into slaughterhouses?
No.
No, you don't think we're oppressing them?
Yes, unfortunately, I'm not a vegan, so I believe that some of the animals that we do eat were there before to be domesticated and to,
Were there before to be domesticated?
Yeah,
You think
to-
animals were there to be domesticated?
Yeah, I
So
think
who put
they
them
were.
there?
God?
God. Oh, you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So does God say that you have to eat animals?
No, they don't say we have to.
So
But
given that it's cruel to eat an animal when you don't have to, because you can choose to not eat them, right? You can choose to not take their
Right,
life.
yes,
What
you can
would
do-
keep you from being compassionate towards them, from being fair with them?
with the animals.
Yeah.
Well, I've been used to. Well, I guess that's that's what one of your former questions. When you're used to it, But I haven't thought about it, So I don't think I would stop.
But do you think it's fair towards them? Let's just acknowledge this. Is it fair towards them?
I'd have to give it some thought more. A little bit
You have to
more.
give it some thought. Okay.
Yes.
Like, what specifically makes it fair for them to exploit and take somebody's life for an optional product?
Well, I really don't think that they can be considered as somebody.
No, are they a thing?
They're animals.
We are animals also, but like,
Yeah, but we are a little bit different than them. We have.
what is
you
the
know,
difference that justifies the difference in treatment?
Well, for one thing, we have thumbs, right? And that defines us as being different from other
So if you find a
animals.
human being who doesn't have thumbs, is it okay to kill them?
No.
Oh, so then that's not the difference.
Yeah, I guess not.
So then what is the difference then? I see.
I don't know. Maybe I've been used to eating animals, and I really don't think I'll change in the near future.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so you're okay being with an oppressor just because they're animals, right?
yeah.
And you don't value animals.
Well, some of them I do, especially those that feed me.
Oh, so you only value them as much as they give to you.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you
yes.
don't really value them. You just value them as resources.
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And you find that fair towards them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think it's fair to
It's fair. I mean,
Would it be fair if somebody did it to you? Somebody who's way more intelligent than you has two opposable thumbs, not just one?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But
yes.
yet you can easily justify it for doing it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you see the hypocrisy there?
Yes.
You see it.
Yes.
Okay. So what will get you to not to stop this hypocrisy?
I don't know yet.
You don't know
I
yet.
don't know yet.
Can I give you some cards to look into it?
Sorry?
Can I give you some cards to look
Yeah,
into
sure,
it?
sure.
But are you gonna promise me you're gonna look into it?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
no problem.
Because I don't want you to. I want to give
No,
a
I'm
card.
not throwing the can. No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. Okay. So where are you from, by the way?
Philippines.
Okay. So scan this code
Uh-huh.
or go on this website and type this
Okay.
and watch the most important speech you'll ever hear. You might need to set it to English
Okay.
to
Sure.
get that.
All right.
Can you promise me you'll watch that?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I will.
Okay.
No problem.
That's all just to learn about all the practices.
Okay, sure. No
Maybe you don't
problem.
want to be part of it. Maybe you don't want to. You don't want to be part of raping cows, stealing their babies, and killing them. That's what we do for milk, you
For
know.
milk, yes. But yeah, maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
Get more information. Yeah. why
Okay. Okay.
All right.
And just as a sign of justice, I will not shake your hand right now, okay?
not? Okay.
But I will tell you that if you choose to not participate in this, I will shake your hand, okay? Because I don't think it's fair to exploit animals just because we can, okay?
Okay. All right. No
Okay.
problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Sure.
I was gonna say at least it didn't. It's fair to exploit and enslave sentient beings for my benefit. Yeah. I think I was respectful, so it's respectful, and I tried to send the right message. You know.
Gummy bear.
Pig's dream. Who has the thumbs in this video? This guy. I like that. So that's so funny. My sign is kind of broken, by the way. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of ripping apart. I need to adjust it one of these days. Okay. Come on, one more good discussion. Come on, baby. Yeah, you know, like, I feel like I don't want to waste my time with people who are not open, and this guy was not open at all, and it would have just become a contradiction, and I didn't want to become a contradiction, or on a he said, she said, they said. So I kind of tried to explain to him all the stuff, and just to really see his perspective. I don't know, I tried something else, you know, that's the thing about it. We don't know what's what, so we can just try. I got my signs from Vista Print. Vinyl. Ooh, vinyl. Fancy. Fancy. Martin, nice to see your donation here. I'm so grateful. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Have you played the game Little Misfortune? No. Renvier Sink Madan, I support your cause. Ben, are you back in Amsterdam? Yes. So, Renvier Sink, are you vegan yourself? Or do you just support the vegan cause by saying that you support it? I'm sorry if I asked you this before, by the way, and you guys want to try it? Okay. When I talk to you guys, people think I'm crazy. Ranveer, I don't know what that means. Are you vegan or not? Want to try a social experiment? Yes, it is live, yes. I'll show you. afterwards. Ali. Better behave. Behave. You supporting the cause means nothing if you're paying against it. It's just lip service. It just means absolutely nothing. Exactly. How do you support the rights movement when not respecting your rights yourself? Kronal, would you wear the skin of a human? The sun is killing me. I applied some sunscreen, but still, yeah. Hey Christina, is that the Bridgerton soundtrack? I don't know. Somebody's playing it here in the background. Point of veganism is to recognize that animals you exploit for taste, convenience, and entertainment are sentient and would rather live than be unjustly killed for pleasure. Exactly. Or any other selfish reason, really. Okay, there's a group of people coming. Let's see. Hi. What is your... You guys want to try it?
I want to try.
Okay, I'll just ask you some questions, get you to think. What's your name?
My name is Michael.
Nice to meet you, Michael. Where are you from?
I'm from Czech Republic.
From?
From Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, nice. Okay, so how do you feel about oppression?
Oppression?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like a cruel or unjust treatment. Like, you know, like what the Nazis did to Jewish people.
Oh, okay, yeah,
what, yeah.
Like you mean what happened in the Second World?
Yeah, it's what happened in the Second War. But like oppression
Yeah.
just generally means somebody with power.
Yeah, I think
taking advantage of somebody with less
I
power.
think it's not good to do that. I think people should have their freedom to do what they want, and not be guided by someone to do something that some leader wants someone to do something. Everybody should do something that they want, and not something that someone is telling them to do.
So it's safe to say you value freedom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to restrict the freedom of the powerless?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, even if the powerless
Even
don't
if they
realize
do bad things,
they don't realize that they have their freedom restricted.
they should know that.
But if they don't realize that, I don't know, they're intellectually challenged or something. Does that
If they don't realize that, then it's
does that make it right?
it's their problem that they doesn't realize that it's. They should realize that.
So then the powerful are okay by if as long as they don't realize that they're being enslaved, it's okay.
If the no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
No. I don't think that's okay.
Okay.
People should know that. People should be told that.
Yeah. But
People
like,
should-
there's people who you can't talk to, right? There's people who are intellectually challenged or something that you can't talk to, right? That's my question. Like, should we use them or exploit them?
No,
or,
I don't think
okay.
that's good.
Okay. And even if like the powerful have been doing it for so long that it's difficult for them to stop,
If people change, I think everybody can change.
everybody can change. Do you think that if you yourself found out that you are oppressing somebody today, would
Yeah, I
you
try
see
to
it as an
change
obligation
things.
to stop?
I see those things as a reason to stop something. And when I'm doing something bad, I try to recollect the thing, what I did bad, and try to fix the thing.
Okay.
Try to not act the same way I acted in the past when I know it's bad.
How do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses for us? Do you think we're oppressing
Slaughterhouses?
them? Yeah.
What's slaughterhouses?
Slaughterhouses is where we kill the animals. It's where we cut their throat and leave them hanging upside down. Do you think that do you think that it's fair towards them, what we do to them? Do you think we're enslaving them? Do you think we're using them for our own selfish needs?
I don't know. For me, it's food.
For you, it's food, but it doesn't have to be, right? Like if
Well-
I were to say that you are food to me, would that be fair?
That's cannibalism.
So what? This is carnism. Just because it has a name doesn't mean anything, right?
I like my meat.
You like your meat,
Yeah.
so you don't care about animals.
If it's on my plate, I don't really care.
Okay, so if it's a dog, it's okay if it's on your plate.
I don't like dogs.
Why not?
I don't like them on my plate.
Oh, you don't like the taste of their flesh.
I don't know how they taste, but I don't think I would be okay eating a dog.
Oh, why not?
Because dog is my friend.
All dogs are your friend?
So good dogs are my friends.
So the bad dogs, can we kill them?
I don't know if they should be killed because they're doing some harm. They should be
Oh
killed.
no, they're not doing any harm. They're
Oh,
just
then
not.
there should be fine.
They're just not your friend.
Okay, then there should be fine.
They should be fine being killed. So it's okay.
No, I don't say being killed.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean being killed. Okay,
Okay.
but I'm actually.
Well, what is the difference between a dog and a cow that says it's okay to kill one and not the other?
I don't know. Cow is meat and
Dog is meat.
yeah, dog is meat too. But like cows are eaten a
Dogs
long
are
way.
eaten also.
If dogs are eaten, then if some people like to do that, then I think it's their thing to do that. But for me, it's not okay to eat the dog.
But
But
for
for
you,
me,
why?
it's okay to eat a cow.
Why do you think it's okay to eat a cow and not a dog? Like, what is it the difference between them that says it's okay to kill one and not the other?
Because the meat is good.
So,
I like
but
the
maybe
taste
the
of the
meat
meat.
of the dog is also good.
Well, maybe. If
Yeah.
it would be good, I would probably eat it.
You would probably eat it. What if the meat of the human would be good?
I would probably eat it.
Yeah. So you really don't value anybody but yourself and your pleasure.
Well, if I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
Bro,
But you
kinda
can
have
choose to
go.
not.
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
choose to
we're
not
in a-
exploit
We're kind of in a
animals.
rush, so bro.
Yeah. Well, animals are being exploited every day when you choose to buy animal products. So I would say, you want to try it? I think you've heard the. You've heard some arguments
This
here,
is
right?
the concept of effective altruism, right? Or
It's not a concept of effective altruism. Can you come closer so that you're in view, by the way? Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
not a concept of effective altruism, but it's rather that a concept of. Do you know what veganism is?
yeah.
What is it?
By the way, are you going to go public this one?
It's a live.
It's live. Okay.
Yeah. It's live.
Do you
on YouTube.
mind?
I don't really care.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what do you know about veganism?
It's like, I mean, there's lots of different, I think, types of vegans.
Yeah.
Like for dietary reasons, for lifestyle reasons.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but overall, the veganism, like, I guess, from what I've heard, the discussion is where there's no animal products, like, whatsoever we use, yeah.
Yeah. So veganism, it's like not a diet; it's a moral stance. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Like some people call themselves vegans, but they're just dietary vegans, as you call them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
those aren't actual vegans. Vegans, it just means opposing the exploitation of animals. It means we don't want animals to be exploited or abused for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about that? Do you think that's something you align with?
I mean, I'm a meat. I guess I eat meat, so I eat everything. But I think, I mean, though I think the root of what we're asking is like, what is right? Which is, I mean, philosophers have debated this for like since the beginning of time.
But I'm asking you yourself. Do you think it's right to take an animal's life when you don't need to for something that is optional to you?
I mean, I also don't think like it's not like need, but like we do so many things that we don't need to do, but we just want to do them, and I think where this is going is like it's at the expense of something else.
But not all the things that we like to do are at the expense of something else. And if they are at the
Yes.
expense of somebody else, then we should stop doing that, right? Like
And it's a
if something
consideration
that
of
we
what
do,
level of-
if something that we do infringes on somebody else's right to exist, to be free, or to pursue happiness, then we should not do that, right?
No, but I'm unclear on why, or can you explain to me why animals have the same freedoms and rights as we do, or like they don't have?
Well, they don't.
Yeah. Or
Why they should?
Yeah, why they should? Yeah.
Well, what specifically makes you think that I deserve rights?
Hmm?
Why do you think that I deserve rights?
I think it's because you have a certain moral capacity for logic and reason.
If I was an intellectually challenged person who cannot talk, also mute, but I'm still a human being, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm with the intelligence of a 3-year-old, would you say I don't deserve freedom?
I mean, it's where everybody, I think the concept, or we're getting, I think this is like specifics, but I think you have the capacity for, or you had the capacity for such reason or such logic.
What if I don't? Like, what if you can't possibly, like, I'm just intellectually challenged enough
Yeah.
that I can't reason?
No, so if I can alter my argument to say like you have or had the capacity to be have logic or reason, but I don't know. I mean the main text I'm thinking of right now is Nicomachean Ethics by Aristotle. So I'm just thinking of like what he said about like kids don't have like whatever the concept of flourishing or something like that. But I mean, which I think I more or less agree with. But that's more talking about what's a fulfilling life. But
Yeah.
I mean,
So let me just put it this way, like the way I see it, the reason why you deserve rights, the reason why
Yeah.
I deserve rights, and the reason why animals also deserve rights is because they experience the world. You know,
Yeah.
they have a subjective experience. They see the world, they perceive it, they have emotions towards the world, and they think about those emotions. They have thoughts, they have dreams. All of these animals that we farm also have that. You see
Yeah.
what I mean? It's pretty much what makes our life beautiful. Because wouldn't say, if I ask you what makes your life beautiful, you wouldn't say knowledge. You would say instantly the emotions, the experiences that you have. It's called sentience. Sentience makes life beautiful.
I'm not sure if I like you have to have the knowledge of whatever sentience or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I wholly agree with what you're saying
Yeah.
about that. But
Okay.
I mean, it seems like your definition is a little. I mean, it's a little different than what I expected of veganism. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think jellyfish or something have like
Sentience.
or like can like feel pain or stuff like
But
that.
would you argue that the cow has sentience? They feel pain?
Yeah, I would think so. So I mean,
Yeah.
then if we go back to your argument, then we can say stuff like, oh, if like we just make I forget, like if we make cows that are incapable of that, or like we induce some genetic defect, I mean, which that's the premise.
To
I
not
think
feel
is-
pain, right?
Yes, which I think that is also immoral.
That's why I described
But-
it as a subjective experience, right?
Yeah.
I described it not necessarily as feeling pain, but rather feeling emotions and also experiencing the world around you, right? It's
Yeah.
not necessarily
I don't know,
about
yeah,
pain,
I-
right? Because if I give you a pain relief and then cut your throat, it doesn't make it okay, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's the same for a cow. If I give them a pain relief and then cut their throat, it doesn't
Yes.
make it
So
okay.
so what is the argument here then? Like, it's not just feeling pain. It's like
It's
the
them-
right to live.
Yeah,
or-
yeah. It's them experiencing the world, just like we do, right?
Yeah.
Like it's bad to do it to a human because they experience the world.
Wait, then what's not with the argument that plants can have the right to live, or everything has the right to
I
live?
mean, plants don't experience. They're not sentient plants, but like, would you argue that it's the same for me to do this, and then or cut the throat of a cow? Is it the same? Is it the same thing?
I feel like you can argue it the same under like the line that we're going down. It's like we're just giving broader and broader definitions of. I mean, I think of what degrees or levels of which we can sort of. I think what I'm getting at is veganism. In veganism, we're just expanding the levels in which we choose or we give rights to, of what we give rights to.
It's a way of seeing it, yes.
I mean,
it's
like-
mostly just about not exploiting them, right? It's
Yeah.
not exploiting non-human animals. So in that, because we're animals also, right? Yeah, not exploiting them. And why would you choose to exploit them when you can choose not to, right? That's the question.
Okay, so then if you were vegan and you operated under the premise of not exploiting animals, and if you were about to die of hunger or whatever, you are morally, or it's moral, or it's okay to kill a cow to like eat.
Listen, in dire circumstances, I might kill a human to eat, but that
Yeah.
doesn't say I'll go right now and kill a human, right?
Yeah, I think that part I
So-
would disagree with. I mean,
So I might kill a cow
there's-
in order to survive. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I'll do that, but
Yeah.
let's say if I do that, that doesn't justify me killing a cow
Yeah.
right now. You see
Let's
what I
do
mean?
more 6 more minutes, okay? Thank.
I'm basically done. I think what I'm saying is, or like, I think it's really objective, in which we're trying to, or I think our argument is like pretty objective in which sort of talking about which degrees. I mean, I think philosophy or in general is very objective. But
this isn't about philosophy. This is about you yourself, right?
Yeah,
You
okay.
yourself. Why would you choose to exploit and slaughter an animal when you can choose not to?
Okay. I think overall it's not okay. However, if you choose to do it through, I don't know, sustainable or
So
moral.
if it's good for the environment, it's okay.
I mean, if it's good for the world, it's okay.
So
But
would you argue that it would be better for the world if there were half the population? Does that mean that it would be good if I killed half the population of the planet?
Well, I think there's too many factors to say whether it's good or not in this conversation. I think.
No, what I'm trying to say is that just because something is, first of all, it's better for the planet, it's better for the society, it's better for the animals, it's better for everybody. If you yourself and everybody around us would be vegan, it would be better for everybody, right?
Yeah.
But that's scientific, that's facts.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying right here, right now, is saying that it is unfair towards the animals to say that it's okay for us to take their life for 10 minutes of pleasure for us, for what is essentially optional to us. We don't have to do that.
I mean, I think, okay, I feel like we're sort of circling a little bit, but what I would say to that is I feel like almost every action or many of our daily lifestyle actions that we choose to do have unfair implications or indirectly harm other people. I mean, choosing to eat animals directly harming, or
But
I
if
guess
you
it's
have
directly
two
harming.
choices, if you have two choices, even in those other actions, one harms humans, one doesn't, why choose to harm humans? One harm animal, one doesn't. Why choose to harm animals? It's the same thing, right? It's not about the fact that anything we do, like this is an appeal to futility to say, no, it doesn't matter what we do, somebody's gonna have some harm. I don't disagree with you there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that you have a choice. When you eat, you make a choice. One will exploit and slaughter a being who did not want to live, who did not want to die, somebody who wanted to live their life, and one won't. So why choose that one?
I think I'm going to give the argument of something I've read or I believe in online, in which like he says like, oh, then the people that run these factories will lose their jobs and they will have no livelihood anymore.
But
or
would you argue like during slavery, there were people who were trafficking slaves. There were people who had jobs of handling slaves. Does that mean we shouldn't stop slavery just because there are people who have jobs?
Okay, I agree. That argument is invalid.
Yeah.
However, if we can also think about, or we say like, the resources we would need to commit to create, or I don't think the resources for me to be vegan are that substantial, but for the resources we need to commit for the whole world to become vegan is less unsustainable than if
it's not. It's
we
way
choose,
less.
no, if we find more scientific, sustainable methods in which we can consume meat, or in which we consume meat.
So what you're saying, the problem isn't that we're killing innocent animals. The problem is that it's not sustainable how we do it.
I think no. So I'm sorry. I was giving a more broader argument. However, I think it's. I mean, I think it's somebody's. Or in the end, I think it's just somebody's individual choice and whether they would
But
want.
that's
to.
why I asked you. Do you think it? Well, I didn't ask you actually because I asked the other ones. Yeah. So
It's a huge topic and a very interesting topic, but we don't have time today.
Yeah.
It's really nice talk. Yeah.
Yeah, just think about it.
Well,
It
what
doesn't
is your
have to be
Instagram?
your choice.
Or whatever.
I'll give you a card
Maybe
right
we
now.
can continue later.
Yeah, I'll give you a card, but like, what I want you to know is that it doesn't it shouldn't be a choice, should it?
I felt I was losing some ground.
Yeah,
while circling.
but this isn't about losing some grounds. You want the card also? Yes, thank you. So this isn't about like losing ground or debating.
Yeah.
I don't want to debate, right? I come here, I want to have conversations with people, and I want you to know that like when you buy an animal product, an innocent animal will be exploited, abused, and slaughtered for you, and you can choose not to do that, right? So it's pretty simple. Why not choose to stop? That's all it is. You see what I mean? It doesn't have to be complicated. You can make it complicated, but even when you make it complicated, it makes sense.
Then I have one last question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are probably numerous arguments that are completely valid in which that are against veganism, or to say that it's okay.
There's no valid argument against it.
So you don't think? And so I was gonna ask if you knew of any other
So the only reason, and I spoke to I think almost 1,000 people, and I don't know so far as I've been doing activism, and I can tell you the only arguments that people use are selfish arguments. I like the taste of their flesh. I don't want to stop. It's difficult for me to stop. But it's in reality it's not difficult for anybody, and it's just selfish to think that it's okay to take somebody's life just because you want to. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all it is. But like look into it, and on that card, if you scan this code, go on this website and type this, set it to English, and watch the most important speech you'll ever hear. Okay?
All right.
It teaches you about all these practices. It teaches you about eggs, about dairy, because you might think you may have one image of animal agriculture, but the reality is so far from what the image that they feed us, because cows are forcefully impregnated. They have their babies taken from them. They have their babies killed. They have their baby milk taken, all for something that for us is not even needed.
All right.
You see what I mean?
Thank you.
Like it's pretty bad.
Thank you.
Can you promise me you'll watch that?
I'll look into it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I'm from Romania, but I live in Netherlands here. Yeah, yeah.
Like to do something for animal life.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good one. It's 2 hours, everybody. I think we're gonna call it a day. What I found particularly interesting in this last conversation was that you didn't see this on camera, but his family was sitting over here on this side, and they were listening. And one of the women wanted the card afterwards to look more into it. And she, like, I kind of saw her with my side vision that she was agreeing with a lot of the stuff we're saying because she kind of understood it. So I feel like that's good, you know. I don't know if he himself kind of understood it. Maybe not, you know. It felt like he was kind of trying to debate a little bit, but I wasn't necessarily in the debate mode or whatever. I hope not, at least. But it was interesting to see that, like, the father was mostly about protecting his son. He said, like, well, is this going to be posted? Are you okay with it being live? Which I appreciated. And then I think either the mother and the aunt, I would say, probably something like that, they were both there and they were kind of agreeing with what I was saying. So they kind of were understanding the argument. So let's hope they look more into it and they make a decision, right? One thing we can say, we planted some seeds there. That's what I can say. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your donation, Martin, so much. Thank you so much for donating. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and yeah, I'll be back with the videos on my normal time. It's, you know, I started working for We the Free, I told you, and that my schedule is still not back to normal, but it will get back to normal, and it will even get better, you know. Will get better, so subscribe. I have been receiving messages from people saying that they started doing activism. I really appreciate that. So this was my goal actually for a while. I don't know how many people turned vegan watching me or have turned vegan from who I talked to. Maybe not a lot, I don't know. No, but I do appreciate that a lot of people are going out there though and speaking on behalf of animals, and I urge you to go out there and speak on their behalf, because, you know, you see these conversations, they plant seeds, and the more seeds there are, the faster we get there. That's the reality. I don't think there's any good or bad way of having these conversations, right? I mean, maybe there's a bad way, like you can really make somebody want to hate veganism, but like as long as you go out there and inform people, as long as you go out there with respect and try to tell them, like, of course, if people are going to be dicks, you can be the dick to them also, but like what I'm trying to say is that a person that you meet on the street, when you go out there and speak to them, no matter who they would have spoken otherwise, no matter which activist, they would have probably got the same seed planted. So go out there and speak to them, because you're going to plant seeds. Some people are going to get there, and it's very important that we stop this animal holocaust. It's very important that we just don't, you know, we just don't exploit animals. It's very important that we stop all of this. Yes, Ali, it's not about treatment, it's about not exploiting. I hope I haven't said treatment. I'm sorry if I said treatment. I mean exploiting. And yes, seeds grow to become a forest. Let's go out there. Speak to people. Go out there. You don't have to film it. You can film it. You don't have to post it. You can do it live. You don't have to do any of it. You just go out there and have conversations. One more seed planted, could mean one more person vegan, could mean 100 animals per year lives saved, could mean even more. Okay, so thank you so much everybody for being here. I appreciate all of you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one. You were saying that to others, says Ali. Yes. Let me show you, as I usually do, a little bit around. Let me see if I find a good way to not disturb the microphone. I will try to move like slick, to be slick about it. Give me a second, so I can show you around. Okay. So here's the person playing the violin. This is, I think, Van Gogh Museum that you see there. Rijksmuseum over there. I mean, it's kind of nice. It's a nice day today outside. It's like 23 degrees. There's some people walking, not a lot. Usually there's a bit more here. It's a nice atmosphere. People are kind of happy because it's not too hot. It's a good breeze. So yeah. AV does it somewhere else. I didn't want to do it today next to AV. Next week I'm probably going to do it a lot with AV. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the donation, Martin. I will see you when I see you. I don't know. It's always, leaving is always hard. I don't know, it's just difficult. But yeah, thank you so much everybody. I will close it now. And yeah, hit that like and drop a comment. We got to get these people watching more of these conversations. You never know when somebody watches a conversation and goes like, oh, I never thought about it that way, So yeah. See you later, everybody. Appreciate you.